Hi guys, and welcome back again. Now in today's video we are going to cover another effect which you can perform. It's a very simple effect. Basically you let them choose any one card in the deck. Okay, so you just show them the bottom of the deck and ask them choose one card. So your audience chooses a card. Okay, now all you need to do is very simple. Take their card, put it down. You do not even have to look at it, and then let them cut the stack. It's okay, as many times as they want, they can cut the stack. Now the idea is this. You as the magician, all you need to do is this. To find their card, you're going to locate their card, okay? By snapping your fingers. And with that simple action of snapping your fingers, now when you spread the deck, you can see that there's actually one card which is red. Okay? So this is the really interesting thing about it. All you need to do is to snap the stack, and then one card turns red. Now what you're going to do is just to clear the rest of the cards, okay? So you're here in this position, and you ask them now to remember what their card was. Okay, all you need them to do is to remember what their card really was. And as they recall their card, all you have to do now is to take off this red card. Okay, and you can clear the rest of the stack. Okay, so in their mind, they're thinking of their card. And it is this card which you claim you have found. Okay, that's the amazing thing. The whole stack is blue, but one card is red, and that is their selected card. And if you turn to reveal the card, it is their selected card. Now not only that, what you're going to do is this. You're going to take this red card and you're going to take it and place it back on the stack. Okay, so the first thing is to show that this red card is their selected card. The second thing you're going to do is to put it down on the stack this way. And this is what you're going to do. Okay, you're going to change the face of that card by snapping. And very simply, in that action of snapping, you've created magic. The card now has changed to another card. And their selected card now is somewhere in the center of the deck. Yeah. Now this is a very simple effect. I kind of like just thought of it, so I do not know if someone else got it out there. I believe there are many versions of this which are already in the market, and I can tell you that professional magicians don't use this because this is not a really good method, okay? But I'm teaching it to you because you have to understand that now is what I would call as the bridging course to help you to understand a bit more about magic, okay? So it's not to give you and expose everything to you so that tomorrow you become world's best magician, but it's more of just teaching you some basics so that you can understand how the psychology of magic kind of works, okay? It's all about an interesting idea or creative idea that is placed into a deck of cards that creates a lot of things, a lot of possibilities. Now, let's go to a tutorial of how to do this. Alright, so this is the tutorial for how to perform the effect that you've seen earlier on. It is a two-phase effect, which is pretty good. When you perform magic, you really want to aim for effects where it kind of like have two phases, okay? Now the idea about magician, let me just tell you this, is that many people who learn magic and okay, how do you tell if you are or somebody is a good magician, okay, or is a real magician? If you know how something is done and you go like, wow, cool, you know, I could show someone something like that. Or, cool, I want to learn that. And after you learn it and you're like, that's so cool. Why didn't I think of that? I love this effect. Then you are a good magician. Okay? There is a second group, which is, their response would be something like, oh wow, okay. That's a stupid effect. My gosh. It's so stupid, you're just doing this. It's like anybody would have known it anyway. But they have forgotten that initially it tricked them at first. Okay, so the idea here is really you have to know that as a magician, you do not just go down there, and even if you learn something, it doesn't mean that because you know, that means everyone else knows. Okay, and this is very important as you go up in the level of learning magic, because there are certain effects which I tell you as a magician, you're gonna see it so obviously happening, it's right in front of you, but no one else seems to know. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is this: whatever you learn, practice it, perform it. And if you really love magic, I tell you, you are going to stun your audience, okay? One part of magic is to first believe in magic first, okay? That means you have to believe that what you're creating is magic. If to you is like, oh, I'm just playing with some cards and, wasting my time, then, well, of course you're wasting other people's time. Alright? So it's very simple. All you need to do is to have an extra red card in a full blue deck. So I got the red card and the whole full blue deck here. Okay, now this red card goes right to the bottom of the stack. It can be any random red card. I happen to use the 5 spades because I pulled out the 5 spades. Okay, so it's all the way to the bottom, and all you need to do is this. Okay, you let them choose any one card. I'm going to show you. Now when I perform this, I usually stand up so people are looking down, so it's much easier. But I'm going to capture this on the camera, and I do not want to use the table. Okay, I just want to be free this way. I want to show you what you can show your audience. Their view is this. You're showing them, can you please pick a card? Okay, this way you spread the stack, and they choose any one random card. Okay, it's important to not go this way. Can you please pick a card? Because you may draw attention to the 5 spades here. Okay, so what you want to do is just say, can you please pick a card? And they pick a card this way. Okay, now once they have picked the card, let's say, wow, 5, okay. Once they pick the card, 5 diamonds or whatsoever, ask them to place it right back on top. And after that, you cut the stack into half. Okay, they can cut the stack too, it doesn't matter. Now the idea is this, they can cut the stack as many times as they want. The tendency that they will cut till the red card comes to the top is, you know, fine. It has never happened to me before. Okay, it has never happened to me before. So, but if it does, it's a bonus to you. Okay, which you can use actually any other methods to reveal that your card has gone to the top. Okay, well, but the thing is this: you tell them that now after cutting the stack and their card is in there. The idea is that the red card, I should have covered this earlier, okay? The idea is, well, the red card is missing now. Here. Okay, the idea is because their card is here, right? The 5 diamonds, and it's on top of the stack. When you cut the stack, the 5 diamonds go underneath the red card. And that's the idea behind it, okay? Let me show it to you again. This is their selected card on top. And this is the red card at the bottom. When you cut the stack into half, the 5 diamonds will go right underneath the red card. Okay, so that's the whole idea behind it. And as you cut the stack, it doesn't matter how you cut it, the cards will still be together. Right, we learned that in the first effect. Okay, pick a card, find a card. So once you're done there, I mean here, you just tell them that, okay, I'm going to try to identify what your card is. I'm trying to find it, but I'm going to do something special. Now the first phase is this. You snap your finger and you reveal that your card has turned red. So you're going to tell them that now all the cards are blue, but there is in fact one card which is red. Okay, there are many ways to reveal this. Many better ways, but let me just teach you one of the, you know, easier or more basic ways, okay? Once you're here, you out jog this card, okay? Basically, I'm holding it this way, okay? This is the card you want to bring up, right? This is the red card, okay? So the red card, you out jog it and your third finger holds onto it. While the rest of the stack closes in this way. But as you close in, what I do is that, you see, when I spread the cards to the red card, I actually push off another card, a few more cards, okay? So when I out jog this red card and hold it on my third finger here, notice the third finger of my other hand, the hand that is holding the red card, okay? It comes up, put at my third finger here. Notice this third finger here, okay? The one on my left hand. What it does is as I square up the rest of the deck, I continue to hold on to a brick under the selected card, because this is the selected card, right? 5 diamonds. I continue to hold the brick as I close the stack up. Let me show you how it looks like on at the side view. Kind of hold it this way. So it means that I've got 2 packs now. One is the one which is their selected card and the red card poking up, and another stack here, okay? I go in this way and I square the deck. It's important, take your time. It's much easier to square this when it's kind of like in this direction, okay, downwards. So you square the deck and you're in this position, okay? Now to maintain the break, do not put your third finger in this way, okay? It's very thick. So what you want to do, let me show you at speed again, is, okay, you're finding the card. You found the red card here, okay? You found the red card. What you want to do is bring up the red card, out jog it, come back in. At the same time, as you close the stack, you're holding on a break underneath their particular card, okay, their selected card. So you're holding it this way, look at where the selected card is. I close it in this way, and I'll leave the red card out a bit. I can actually slant it a bit just to maintain where the red card is. Now the idea behind this is, as you square the deck, you maintain onto that break, okay? And as you maintain onto that break, your last finger at the end of the day, you see, once I'm here, once I square everything up, my last finger is the one that is maintaining this break. Okay? So to maintain this break, you do not put the whole finger in. You kind of just let the meat of your last finger kind of like cause there to be a small little gap there. Okay, so the rest of the fingers from front view and top view looks very natural, right? It looks natural. But this last finger is kind of like letting a bit of the meat catch onto a small little break there. Okay, so you're at this position. What I do next, let me just show you side views, is I hold everything on top of the break. Okay, I hold everything on top of the break. And then this stack below the break goes to the top, okay? But when you look at it from the top view, it looks like that, right? So I grab everything here, and everything from the bottom I carry to the top, okay? And I square the stack up again. Now effectively, the positioning of the cards now is this. Their selected card is here. After that, it is the red card here. Okay, and then the rest of the stack of the deck, okay? But they do not see the bottom card because you're holding it this way. Remember, you're squaring the deck up, okay? You're holding it this way. Now, what you're going to do is this. You're going to hold it like that first. Okay, mechanics grip. And then, you're going to use your right hand, okay, to hold on to the deck. The sides of the deck. The longer sides of the deck, okay? So you're in this position and you're holding on to the longer side of the deck. At the same time, your left hand will come over, and let me show you the move, okay? My index finger is here to make sure that the idea is this. What you're going to do is, as you come over, you're going to pull the bottom card up, okay? Whichever way you want. Okay, you're going to pull it up, and you're going to maintain it together flushed with the red card, okay? But the idea is that if my index finger is not there, not here, when I pull this one up, let's say it's not there, it may show, right? It may extend by accident. So my index finger deck forms as a catch, okay? From here, I'm showing this way. Remember guys, okay, remember that it is much easier to perform this when you are standing up and this deck is face down. I just want to show it this way, okay? From this position, your index finger comes here, and all I do is I pull the red card back a little bit. Now when I pull the red card back a little bit, just a little bit, okay, tiny little bit, what happens is that I pull, it is easy for me to pull this back card off from the rest of the deck, okay? So I pull it back out, and now it's easy to get onto this card, okay, the bottom card here. And I kind of like drag it up, okay? Now from front view, just have a look at it, okay? From front view, I'm just pulling this card out, right? But what actually happens is that I'm actually loading two cards together. So over here, I'm this way. Okay. Chris Mayhew has something which is similar to this. Now what he does is that he kind of like, while he's holding the deck this way, okay, he actually moves because of the friction from your hand over here, okay. Because of that friction from your palm area, as you move up, to square the red card, you kind of like drag the bottom card. Can you see the bottom card being dragged up? Okay, so you're here, and this is from Chris Mayhew. Okay, I learned it in, I've seen it in his Eye Candy DVD. Okay, in his effect there. So he kind of like carries up this way, and then he pulls off the card. I mean, he does not pull off the card, okay, but I pull off the card. And that's the idea, okay, that's where I get this idea from. You're from here, and you kind of like drag up to pull off the card together, okay? So you're holding it this way after squaring the deck. You come up and you drag off the red card together with your card, okay? It should stay flushed. Do it slowly, practice it, okay? So from here, the idea in this is to use your palm to pull the card up. At the same time, this finger which is on top of the deck presses down on this card. Now when you press it down, it becomes like, you know, it's much easier to pull the card up. If you do not press it down, just this way, you see, the card kind of like moves together with you. So what you're going to do is to press onto this card, and it's important, same thing, index finger here, press onto this card, slide it up. Once it is flushed together at the top, that means your index finger kind of like stops. Your index finger stops the bottom card after it touches the red card. You pull off the whole card together, clear the rest of the deck and say that now what is your card. So they say whatever the card is, okay, that's when you turn the card over to reveal it is their card, their selected card. Okay, so this is the first part, the first phase of this effect. Now the second phase of the effect is really simple. It's all just, performance, okay? Their card comes, you can ask them to hold onto the deck, okay, so magic happens in their hands. Take the card and put it right on top. Now once you snap your finger this way, okay, the top card is naturally another card because their selected card is second from top. So once you put it down, selected card goes on top, snap your finger, take the first card up, it's naturally a different card. Reveal that, put it aside, you end clean. The whole deck now is just a normal deck. You can just take this deck, all you need to do is just cut it into half, burying their selected card somewhere in the center of the deck and pass it out for examination. That's all. Okay, and this is this effect that I want to share with you. It's a two-phase effect. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that effect, and I really hope that you can practice it. Now guys, you have to practice, okay? Unless you're really good at it or you're a natural at it. Otherwise, please do practice. One of the thing about magic performances is not to spend too much time stammering. Okay, what do I mean? I could perform an effect, the same effect, example, the card goes to the top here. I could just say, okay, now your card is down here and this is the second phase, okay? I'm going to show you something even more interesting than that. First, your card changed into a red card. Now, if I actually snap my finger this way, the red card changes into a random card in the deck. And it is the 5 spades, okay? At the same time, your card is somewhere in the center of the deck here, and you can spread it just to find it, okay? And you pass the deck out for examination. Now, it's important to do it this way. Another alternative, which is bad, I repeat, something which is bad, is to stammer when you're performing, okay? So it really means something like, you just go down there and you say, now, okay, this card here, and then it changes. And I tell you, I've seen this before. Your explanation is almost as important as what you're doing, okay? If you don't want to explain, you don't know what to explain, use body action to show what you're trying to do. Look at this. Supposing I'm doing the same effect, I can do it this way. Okay, and you get the same amount of applause. But if you're going to stammer, people are going to be like, what are you doing? Do you even know what you're doing? And they're like, after some time, they break concentration from what you're doing. They have no idea what you're doing. Okay? And I've seen, that's why I have to burn this into you. Okay? Number one, how you communicate with your audience is important. The second thing is how you reveal the card that is important. I've seen someone do this before. Okay? And it is too fast. And the only expression you get is like, oh. And that's it. Nothing else. People don't care. After that, they pack their bag, they go home, and they don't even care about you. So it's important to leave your good impression by revealing the card and being a good performer, doing things the right way. Okay? I think it's important. I hope you enjoy this effect. Please let me know what you think about it. And stay tuned because I'm going to teach you more stuff in future. Alright? Thank you.